All right. Good morning. Here we go. Sasky Rose, you were first. Wow, that was quick. T-Bill. Wow, you guys were quick. Oh, man, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Let me tweet this out to the world. Let everybody know that I am live for the market open. It's Friday, so good morning, everybody. It is indeed another Friday. And on this Friday, we are ending out the first week of November. Is anybody a Drake fan here? I don't think so. But if you are, a new album came out. I wasn't that impressed with it yet, but that's my reaction to every Drake album that comes out at the beginning. I'm just not that impressed by it. And then eventually over time, I see what happens. Damian Morrow, Alvarado, Seth Roth, Epistemic Sam. Good morning. Work from home today. Awesome. I'm happy I am your morning entertainment while you are home. That is great. Chris, we are screwed. Chris, we're always screwed. Chris, why are we screwed? Dan, you're a Drake fan. Okay, awesome. Richard, what happened with DraftKings earnings? Beat nicely and got crushed. I didn't even see DraftKings earnings, but I'm pretty sure that because they're a high growth tech stock, the macro said, yeah, we don't care. Let me just put this in my Discord real quick. Live morning open. We got about 300 people in the Discord, which is awesome, man. That's really cool. I forget to put the Discord in the description so you guys can join, but I always forget. The job numbers. Okay, the job numbers is why. Now, Chris, are you saying that because there is not enough unemployment? Because I think that's your argument. That's what at least the CNBC headline is. So let me share my screen there and let's talk about the jobs report and then we'll get into the market itself. So we got 261,000 new jobs in the month of October, better than expected as hiring remains strong. Non-farm payrolls grew by 261,000. The unemployment rate moved higher to 3.7%, while a broader jobless measure also increased to 6.8%. Average hourly earnings rose 0.4%. So this is a chart of U.S. monthly job creation in the last year. Obviously, February was amazing for jobs at 714,000. These were like some rebounds off of the COVID lows. One argument could be that these are too many jobs and that's going to lead to too much inflation because Jerome Powell wants to not have that many jobs. It's like incredibly hard to say this because people need their jobs, right? And like saying that people shouldn't have jobs is wild. However, there also are some tech layoffs happening. Amazon and Apple have stopped corporate hiring. Lyft is cutting off 13% of its workforce. Peloton's cutting off workforce. Stripe, which is a private company valued in the fintech space at around $95 billion, they've cut off 14% of their workforce. I actually interviewed someone who worked at Stripe 3 years ago, and on LinkedIn, I saw their message yesterday, and I was like, damn, like it's crazy thing. You know, people are losing their jobs with that. So I mean, tech is definitely holding the pedal, but obviously in general, payrolls are increasing, which isn't the worst. Sam says, what Discord? I'll post the link here so you guys could join. I feel like if you're in the morning open, morning close, late night stock talks, you should probably be in the Discord. It's like a natural rite of passage. It's like you have to. Here it is. I just put it there. So Chris says, any hope of a pivot just got nerfed. Federal governments need to raise taxes to cut spending ASAP. Yeah, I'm not going to give the Fed a reason to keep raising rates. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the Fed, they knew they were going to keep. I think also the Fed knew that at some level they had to keep raising rates no matter what. There was no economic data that was coming out outside of CPI, which we'll see in a week. But until then, it's kind of been like nothing to indicate why we wouldn't be raising rates. And so that's what Jerome Powell. I mean, I live streamed that whole meeting, and the dude basically just kept saying, like, stop asking us if we're going to pivot because we're not going to pivot because we don't see any data to be able to pivot. Coinbase had their earnings as well. They're up 6%. I want to pull up those numbers real quick. Coinbase earnings. I actually want to know how much revenue they made and how many transactions we saw of crypto. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this one. Coinbase earnings. Just give us 100 bips. The 75 ain't working. Yeah, if he gives 100 bips, every politician in the country is going to like try to decapitate this guy. Okay, earnings loss of 243 per share versus loss of 240 per share. So not horrible on earnings. Revenue of 5. Oh, wow. Wait, hold on. Why are they up? We expected 654, and they gave revenue of 590. They gave $64 million less of revenue, and the stock is up. That's interesting. You'd imagine the stock could get destroyed. Wow, interesting. Why did the market give Coinbase a little bit of a rally off of these? These are not good numbers. User base declining. The company said it had 8.5 million monthly transacting users during the third quarter, down from 9 million and 9.2 million in the first quarter. Analysts were expecting 7.84 million. Okay, so they beat on MAUs from what analysts said. And again, a monthly transactive user is someone who trades at least a penny of crypto on the platform. If you do that, you qualify as a MTU. Just like on Facebook, if you like log in once in the month, you are a MAU. You're a monthly active user. Retail transaction revenue came in at 346 million, down from 1.2 billion a year earlier. Oh my goodness. So when this was 250, they were making $1 billion a quarter off transactions because everyone was trading. And now, and the way Coinbase makes money, by the way, this is why I never liked the business at all. Forget crypto. They make money off the fees. So if Bitcoin's 70,000 and you trade, 5% of Bitcoin, boom, you get 5% fee. If Bitcoin's 2,000 and then people start trading it, you get 5% of 2,000. So I never liked this idea because it's always based on crypto. And it's like, well, if crypto is not doing well, then it's not going to do well either. Number of transactions and users are up. I mean, it's up compared to expectations, but it's down from the first quarter, right? Wait, the Discord link disappeared. Never mind, I'm dumb. Yeah, it's there. I'll probably pin it in a second. China to the moon. Okay. That's a take. Let me go to the what thing did I want to do? Okay, I pinned the Discord thing. There was something I wanted to show you guys. Oh yeah, Alibaba. Let's do that. We have 3 minutes till open. All right, let's go there. Baba and Neo. So let's look at Baba first. Actually, let's look at Neo. Neo should be a what? 994, 1095 pre-market. Neo has gotten pretty smacked, and then Baba's at 65. So Neo and Baba have not done well, obviously, in the broader scheme from year to date. But it's almost like every other growth stock. To say like, oh, the China stocks suck, but the American stocks are good, it's only qualitative because the American stocks also are down just as much as the Chinese stocks. But obviously, which one would you want to hold long term? Spotify approaching potentially under $71. The Spotify documentary on Netflix, by the way, is really good. I was watching it the other day. But the business just, the amount of stuff Daniel Ek had to go through to get these record labels to give up their music, it kind of makes you realize, wait a second, monetizing that shit is not easy, bro. And that's why they got into podcasts and they're trying to do podcast ads. But podcast ads, I don't think make up for a public company yet. So I'm not bullish on Spotify. I think the product is phenomenal, but the music business is not a good business. I mean, it's just not. YouTube doesn't make money off YouTube music. They make money off videos because videos you can advertise against videos. Top of the morning, Amit Turk. Thank you. But isn't that how most brokers make money though? Well, brokers make money through payment for order flow. They don't make money through fees. And so it's a entirely different business model. Like they used to make money through fees, but everything has just changed. I'd rather jerk off a panda than buy a share of some Chinese company that jerks off. Okay. All right, Chris, coming in hot. I'm sure people in the chat agree. It's a little fire this Friday morning. By the way, what are your guys' plans for the weekend? Good morning, Jason. Cameron, what's up? What are your guys' plans for the weekend? I would like to know. I have so much work this weekend. Like this Saturday, I'm going to be sitting here. If I were to live stream myself this Saturday working, it would be 10 hours of just being on this computer, which, by the way, I got a brand new computer, which is doing wonders. I can edit videos in like 5 minutes now. Like, I don't know why I didn't buy a new computer earlier. It cost me $1,600, but I think that $1,600 will be well worth the ROI because like I needed a new computer. But yeah, what are you guys doing this weekend? I am curious to know. I am working, and that's it. I have nothing else to do other than work, and that's it. And I want to just work because there's a lot of stuff to get done. S&P actually 376 pre-market, so S&P is up. We'll see how it ends out. Fridays obviously tend to be a down day when things, tend to sell off, but we will see how it turns out. All right, we got 10 minutes till the market open, and we close out this week. Why is the top of your screen flashing? I don't know, Marcus. I wish it wasn't doing that. I'm going to try to figure out why it's doing that. Hopefully I can figure that out. All right, 9:30 a.m. November 4th, 2022. I am so thankful that all of you are spending your morning with me because there's a lot of other people you could be spending it with, and it means the world that you're spending it with me. The stock market in the United States of America is officially open. Bro, you know you're getting older when like your shoulder starts hurting when you do this. Like, I knew I turned 25 the other week, but I didn't know like I decided to just give up my body for like age. Like, that's not cool. I don't like that trade. All right, the stock market is open. What do we got? SoFi 547 up 2.24%. SoFi earnings were amazing, but the market just didn't respect it. Zoom 79.40, Coinbase 64.47 up 10%. I don't get Zoom's earnings, to be honest. The numbers were not that amazing. I don't know why the market's giving it the respect that they're giving it. And I'm not saying that because I hate Zoom. I'm saying that because I just don't get it given what's going on in this macro. Apple 141 up 2.27%. Google 85. Microsoft 217. Snapchat 940. Snapchat up 15% from its lows when it crashed to about $7. I said it should have been the time to buy. I even tweeted it, but I didn't buy because it's scary buying Snapchat because I use the product. I was like, wait a second, I never watch ads. How do these guys make any money? So I like at the end of the day, Snapchat is Snapchat. I still don't think it's a good buy long term, but at its lows, it probably would have been nice to make about 15% in 2 days. Tesla 223, 3.58. Tesla's obviously stuck in a range, but it's out of that bottom of 198, which is nice. Roku recovering. So Roku was down to 44. It's now back up to 52. So it's up from its lows, at least up from the massive decline that it had, which is good for anyone who's doing Roku. Robinhood at 12. Wow. Not bad. Robinhood's at 12. Meta even at 90. It's up from below 90. Palantir at 86 and ARK at 36. Not bad. And then we got the SPY at 376 and NASDAQ at 10,000 something, 10,500. 10,500. Okay, let me go through some comments and let's put up some videos. Why that bell? It's the bell. We got to do the bell. Quarantine Quartet is performing at a tavern at the Green tomorrow in Central Park. That's amazing. Yo, if I could come to Central Park, I would love to meet you, Quarantine Quartet. That would be awesome to go. Ahad, you have an interview. Is this a job interview, Ahad? Golfing, optimistic or pessimistic for Palantir earnings next week. I'll be live streaming it on this channel. I'm optimistic, but I don't think the market's gonna let it do anything crazy. Where was the wake your ass up? Oh, wow. I must have forgot about that. I must have woke my ass up. And so I forgot about that. But yes, wake your ass up because the stock market is now open. All right, let's see what the talking heads are talking about and what is going on there. All right, here we go. Billionaire investor Ron Barron, some interviews on CNBC. He says, if I had more money, I would spend it. So obviously a bullish argument. Let's see what he is saying. Ahad says, yes, awesome, man. I wish you the best of luck for that job interview. You're going to kill it. Here we go.
Tom Pritzker is my friend, and he's the head of Hyatt Corporation. And he says to me a few weeks ago, he says, you know, Ron, I've been trying to figure out for a long time how you do this. How does this happen? And how do you pick stocks? And then he says, I figured it out. What you do is you try to find people who you really like, who you really admire, who you think are great leaders, you like integrity, you can trust them, and then you invest in, and then you find out a way to invest with them. If you like the person, you figure out some way to invest with them. That's what you do. And I think about that, and that is what we do. We try to find, and it goes back to when I was a kid, and I watched the people who were most successful in Asbury Park. And one guy owned the rides on the boardwalk. You know, and they had platforms, and people go to the boardwalk and they buy the rides, or they play the Cupid dolls, or they had the umbrella franchise, or or the suntan franchise when I was selling on the beach from a lifeguard. So I see these things, and my whole life it's the people who. My grandfather, we started off as a construction worker, then he was a peddler, then he owned a candy store. He didn't sell the candy store when things weren't going well. He just figured out, I'll put more pink balls in there, so that they can bounce the penny on the street. So it's about just being long-term about everything. And the people who've done the best that I've watched have done, just invested for the long term in businesses, and that takes you through the inflation. Oh, one more thing. About a week ago, there was an article in the New York Times over the weekend interviewing 6 or 7 money managers about what they thought. And everyone said, well, we have to wait till inflation peaks and we have to wait till interest rates start going down, except for one guy. That was Lloyd Blankfein. And he says that we're going to get through this. He says in 1963, we were stopping the Cuban Missile Crisis. We were stopping Russian ships in mid-ocean. And they were putting missiles in Cuba. We got through that. They had National Guards shooting kids on campuses. We got through that. So we've had periodically, we had assassinations of political leaders. We got through that. So there's all these things that happen all the time. On the other hand, in entropy, it's this, chaos. Whenever we've had it before, we've come through, and the stock market is 800, as we talked before, in 1982. It's now 32,000, 40 times.
Are you putting more money to work right now because you can find more opportunities because prices have come down? Or is this a situation where you literally just keep your head down and it's business as usual?
In last November, the end of October, you couldn't find things that were expensive, that were cheap.
They were cheap.
Now you can't find things that are expensive. You can't find anything that's expensive. And so if I had more money to invest.
That is a good point, bro. Like, you can't find things that were cheap last November. And what did you remember November 2021? How that was literally the top of the market. November 2022. I mean, yes, it could go lower, but his argument is correct. Like, you can't find things that aren't cheap.
I would invest it. I'm invested.
You're fully invested.
Yeah. And, we get more money, but in chunks. And so as soon as we get it, we invest it. But, I find things everywhere. And that doesn't mean this is the bottom. It just means this is a great time to invest. When you're talking today, you're going to hear, Hyatt and Vail, and those are companies in which we invest. And these are companies that are selling. They have, they buy in their stock. They have a couple of % yield. They shrink their capitalization 7 or 8% a year. They're selling at 11 or 12 times. There are benefits from inflation. In the 1970s, when I was investing at the beginning, and there was a lot of inflation at that period of time, I couldn't understand. The stock market kept going down. I couldn't understand it. I said, these businesses in which I'm investing, what they own keeps getting more valuable, and every day the stocks go down. Why is that? And of course, it ended. But in the 1970s, even though the stock market was going down, the businesses in which we're investing, so I'm a stockbroker, I'm selling research that I'm doing to hedge funds and mutual funds. And in the 1970s, the ideas that I'm selling, they're making money because the companies that we're investing in, they kept growing through it all. It was Disney and McDonald's and Federal Express and Nike and Mattel and Hyatt. So they kept growing, and Tropicana. And so my clients, I wouldn't have been able to make a living if I was just being a long-term investor in the 1970s. I needed commissions. And so I would get people to buy one stock and then.
Okay, so obviously, look, it makes sense for Ron Barron, who's a long-term investor and not a trader. Guys, what's up? Thank you for being here. So DRK says Ron Barron teaching investing as a long-term strategy while most are acting like day traders. And one of the points he makes about the company's growing, but the stock price not reflecting that, I feel like that's exactly the case with something like a Tesla, exactly this case with something like a SoFi, probably going to be the case with Palantir next Monday. So when companies are growing and the stock price is not reflecting that, theoretically, that is when you have a generational opportunity, right? Like in November 2021, you had a generational opportunity to go broke. November 2022, you have a generational opportunity when your stocks are not going up, but the companies are still growing to then get them at the cheapest prices. However, that doesn't mean they're the bottom. So I think that's the other thing there. Twitter employees have received Musk has planned to eliminate half of Twitter jobs to cut costs. There was a leaked email. Let me pull that up real quick. Insider Twitter emails. Yeah, here we go. Let's read this right here. So this is the memo that Musk sent out to his employees of Twitter of what they're going to do. So this is what he says. Team, in an effort to place Twitter on a healthy path, we will go through the difficult process of reducing our global workforce on Friday. We recognize that this will impact a number of individuals who have made valuable contributions to Twitter, but this action is unfortunately necessary to ensure the company's success moving forward. Given the nature of our distributed workforce and a desire to inform impacted individuals as quick as possible, communications for this process will take place via email. That means he's not getting people in the door and like going through HR. It's just gonna be email. So look at this. If your employment is not impacted, you will receive a notification via your Twitter email. If your employment is impacted, you will receive a notification with next steps via your personal email. So as soon as you get the email, now I have multiple Gmail accounts on my phone. Okay. So if I get an email, I don't know which Gmail account it went to. I just know it came to my Gmail account. Actually, no, I think I do. Because at the top it says I don't know. I forgot. But either way, if you get that personal email, you know you're gone. And if you get it via Twitter, imagine you're a Twitter employee right now and you're just waiting for like the person, you have your personal and your Twitter and you're just looking at both. That's like, it's crazy, bro. And it's a harsh reality of working and layoffs, but it's kind of wild. They also said to help ensure the safety of each employee as well as Twitter systems and customer data, our offices will be temporarily closed and our badge access will be suspended. If you are in an office or on your way to an office, please return home. So they're cutting off the offices so that no one can come and protest or do anything crazy like that, which is wild. So that's crazy. Samuel, good morning. Thank you for being here. So that is what Elon Musk has decided to do with Twitter at the end of the day. Let's go back into the markets and then let's see what's going on. SoFi 521, Zoom 77. Okay, so market's trending a little bit more down. Spotify 76, Snapchat 910, Google 84. Google 84 is actually insane to me. Like this is this is lower than 86 yesterday, which was the low. Their 52-week low is 83.44. So we are approaching Google at 52-week lows. Like we are literally in that zone in this market where we're looking at. I wonder what Microsoft's 52-week low is. Oh, Microsoft's 52-week low is also 213, and it's at 214. Roku's 52-week low is 44. Robinhood's is 681. Palantir. So Palantir is 644. Palantir dropping below $8. 644, and it's low. Interesting. So almost everything is at its 52-week low, which is just such a. So except the S&P, it's not fully at the 52-week low yet, but there's different things going there. Let's look at Lilium. That's a Palantir SPAC. 186, not horrible. It's not as bad as Wejo. That's literally at $1. But what was the other ticker symbol I was thinking of? Oh, there's another ticker symbol that I wanted to check real quick. Let me just pull this up real quick. You guys have any ticker symbols you want me to pull on the watch list? Because this is a new computer. Let me know about that. And I will. Oh, yes. Here we go. Okay. So I wanted to pull up Opendoor. Opendoor just had earnings. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't a two. Okay, so they're down 3%. So let's go to Opendoor earnings because I actually did not see anything about Opendoor earnings. This is a pretty hype stock, Opendoor. It's not like a stock that people don't care about per se. I don't know how big of a market they really have, but I mean, it seems like people care about it. Opendoor earnings. Let's click on that. All right, so let's open this one up here, Yahoo Finance, and let's check it out. Oh, Twilio report today as well. Okay, so we'll look at Twilio in a second. So Opendoor, loss of 52 cents per share versus an estimated loss of 37. So that's not the best. Revenue of 3.36 billion, surpassing the estimates of 24%. Okay, so they beat revenue by 24%. That's not horrible. This compares to a year ago revenue of 2.274 billion. So they're up almost 60%. No, they're up 100% of revenue. Yeah, they're up 100% year over year on revenue. Okay, so the market didn't care. I think the market is still concerned that at the end of the day, you're losing money and you're not profitable and you're selling these houses that you bought for too much money. So that's why the market has not changed on Opendoor. There is a pretty big passionate community of people that care about it, but I guess the market is just like, yeah, we're not giving you the benefit of the doubt yet. Twilio, here we go. Twilio, wow, Twilio plunged. Why did Twilio plunge? Oh, so let me share the screen real quick and then we'll get into earnings. Oh my goodness, Twilio. Hold on. I did not see this morning. Hold on. Look at this. You guys see this chart? Did anyone see this morning? I got to tweet this. Hold on. What is this? Twilio. Oh my goodness. Oh my. That's not good, bro. That's not the best. That's down 33% today. Wow. Okay, so we got to figure out why is it down 33%. So let me go into their earnings and let's pull that up because that's not a good sign on Twilio. Someone is crying into their cornflakes. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. What do we got on Twilio? So loss of 27 cents per share versus expected 36%. So they at 36 cents, so they actually did better. Revenue 983 versus 972 million. So company's revenue grew 33% year over year. Twilio said it had over 280,000 active customers, up from 275,000. Respected guidance, Twilio is calling for a fourth quarter adjusted net loss of 11 cents. Analysts polled by Refinitiv have expected an adjusted loss of 12 cents. Notwithstanding the after-hours move, Twilio shares were about 83%. Twilio is working to start generating operating income. Okay, so Twilio didn't have a horrible earnings, but they plunged 29% on light guidance. So even light guidance would crash your stock 30%. That's bro. Like I was talking to someone yesterday that I was interviewing on a SoFi podcast, and he said Apple made $99.5 billion in net income. That's not revenue. That's net income. That's profit. That's the most profit for trailing 12 months. That's the most profitable a company could ever be in the past year. And the market has them down 15%. Like if you make that much money and the market's not going to respect you, how's the market supposed to respect a Twilio or a pound? Like it's wild. Like it is actually wild. So all right, let's hear what Ron Barron thinks about Twitter. Let's hear his thoughts on that. He obviously invested in Elon and Tesla a while ago, so let's see how he thinks about the Twitter acquisition.
Speaking of Twitter, there's an article in the New York Times today that suggests layoffs are going to begin starting today, and it's going to be layoffs of around 3,000 or so people, maybe up to 50% of the staff there. You're an investor.
I thought it said 3,700.
3,700.
And there are 7,500 employees. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people there that aren't very productive. They work from home. They haven't written very much code. You know, I'm not the expert in Twitter yet. I will be in a couple of years, maybe sooner than that, but I'm not yet. And I think that the first thing you got to do is right size the business, and then the opportunities they have are gigantic. This is the place where you have content. It's the other place you go to look at people's faces and their kids and stuff. Here you go to he wants to have a digital town hall, digital town center, where you can debate. But you have to make sure that you moderate and you don't have hate speech on there. And there was something that was published a couple of days ago that said in the first time, as soon as you took it over, there were 50,000 tweets in 2 or 3 days with using the N-word.
Yes.
Or using anti-Semitic tropes. In 2 or 3 days, there were 300 accounts. So 300 accounts.
They were troll accounts that were trying to see what they could get away with. Yeah.
And so you don't want that. You want to have a verification of accounts for $8 a person, and you can verify, and then they can amplify your what you want to say and who you can reach.
I mean, he has made the statement to assuage advertisers that he doesn't want it to be a hellscape. He's been clear about that. But I think there are advertisers who have questions and concerns. There was another story today, I don't know if it was the Wall Street Journal, that just talked about General Mills, Volkswagen, a lot of different companies, potentially L'Oreal, that are looking at Mondelez and Pfizer. Those are some of the other ones that are pausing their ads on Twitter right now. Do you think that he's going to run it in a way that will bring those advertisers back and convince them that this is where they want to be?
I do, but I think that this is not just about money. And when you're talking about someone who's worth whatever he's worth, and going to be worth multiples of that in the future, trillions, and you're talking about $20 billion. To everyone, it's in the world, it's a lot of money, but for him, it's not relevant. And what he's doing, his goal is not just to make a huge amount of money. His goal is to help democracy. And you help democracy, you don't help democracy. And he says the only way this works is that if a lot of speech that takes place there is stuff that he doesn't like. He says you don't want to hear it. But on the other hand, that's what democracy is. You argue about things.
But how do you decide between free speech and hate speech? That's the tricky
part. So that's an easy thing to do. That if you think about what TikTok does, the TikTok can, if you move your arm a certain way, they know what you want to watch.
Right.
And they know who you are. And if they watch enough things, then they know more about you than you know about yourself, and more than your wife knows. They know everything. But just moving. And for him to think about, this guy sends up rockets and brings them back and lands them.
Right.
How could he not have software that can determine from the words that are being used and from the content that people are watching? They know more about everyone than anyone else because of the content. So they know all this, and therefore they should be able to figure out with software how to moderate and to prevent this hate stuff and anti-Semitic things and and using N-words. They should not be allowed to do those things.
Yeah.
And he said even the sanctity of elections.
Yeah.
And so here, if everyone says it's true, how do you avoid disinformation? They should be able to do that with software.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks.
Shepard Smith here. Okay, so there's a couple of points I thought that were very interesting there. Number one is this argument that Elon's not doing this for money. I actually, maybe it's naive. I actually kind of do believe in that, because buying something for $44 billion kind of just because you're kind of bored and you want to help democracy. I think Elon is trying to form a legacy that is in and of himself and not just like the Tesla guy or SpaceX guy. And one of the defining parts of his legacy is, what did you do to help humanity outside of climate change? And if you could help people better communicate on the digital town square of our modern era, which is Twitter, which might not be the case 100 years from now, but for now it is. That's actually a really dope legacy if you think about it. If you're the guy to actually transform the way we communicate online. And then if you could actually make money about that and turn a failing business into a real business, I mean, that from a business sense, that just ups your legacy even that much more. The mic transition is effed. I'm sorry, guys. I thought we fixed it. No one gave me those comments for like the past couple of weeks. So I got to work on that. Maybe I just got to reduce the gain next time on this. The other thing he said is that the software in determining hate speech, I also think that's very possible. Like it shouldn't be that hard to figure out if someone's saying really bad stuff, and to have recommendation algorithms that know that people don't want to see certain things, to just get rid of that stuff, or not censor it, but like make sure it doesn't get seen by a lot of people. I mean, if the other tech companies are able to do it, Twitter should be able to do it without having the obscene policies they had before Elon, which is banning you if you like use the wrong pronoun. It's like, bro, like you can't ban people just for that. That's like insane. Like that's you're not going to be able to build a democracy by doing that. Like, yeah, using the wrong pronoun is people feel bad about it. That doesn't mean you ban them. That's not equivalent to saying like the N-word or something, right? So at that point, I think like it's just more moderate policies and using software to be able to recognize that stuff. SoFi at 520, Zoom at 76, Microsoft 214, Google 84, Tesla 218, dropping a little bit from 228, not too much. NASDAQ 10,360. Datadog had a good earnings yesterday, but also down a bit. What's Datadog's max? Datadog was at 199 in November 20. Bro, November 30th, 2021 was was like the top for everybody. And I was buying Palantir in the early Novembers, which sucked. Meta below 90 at 88. Wow, Meta's 52-week low is 88.33. I think it's about to hit another potentially 52-week low again. We will see. A mid pitch the Elon idea. Okay, so let me pitch an idea to you guys. Me and Chris were thinking of starting a podcast called Elon Weekly. And the goal of the podcast is not to suck off Elon. It's more so, actually it kind of is, but it's more so to use him as a springboard for more discussions. Obviously, Elon is the most important man of our generation, I would imagine. And the thing he's doing with Neuralink, SpaceX, Tesla, Twitter, there's just so much in there. So instead of it being like a Tesla weekly or like a SpaceX weekly, it's an Elon weekly, and he's the springboard for all the discussion we have, because he's obviously someone that spurs a lot of discussion. So we're testing to see if people would want to see that. I'm not sure if people would want to see that, but me and Chris would be down. We need 2 other people to do it with us. And then, I don't know, maybe we do it on like Thursday night, Saturday night, something like that. But there's just so much news to cover with Elon, right? Like I don't think a week goes by where you don't have at least 5 or 6 major news stories that lead, like this whole AOC Elon beef, that leads into a really important discussion about capitalism and elitism and union workers and how much your hoodie really needs to cost. Because AOC says, wait a second, my hoodie costs $58 because the people aren't working in slave labor. It's like, fam, you don't need to charge $58 for an ethically sourced hoodie. You are out of your freaking mind. At most, maybe it's 30, but you do not need to charge 58 freaking dollars, because like, no, you're getting a profit margin off that, bro. Like, don't act like people are stupid. And especially content creators that have sold merch online, you don't need that type of profit margin. So shout out to Tom Nash in the chat. Okay, so me and Tom were supposed to record another episode of the Daily Cabal today, but we weren't able to do it. Fridays, we're not supposed to do it anyway. We thought we could do it today, but we're not going to be able to do it. So we are going to have a compilation show come out today. So we're going to take the best little debates that Tom and I have this week. Probably the China debate will be there because that was a good one. That's the one off the top of my head, and we got to get 3 more. And that'll be on the channel this Friday, the Daily Cabal. If you have not subscribed, definitely check it out. GS Strategies, thank you for being here. If you are wondering why there's no Daily Cabal, Okay, I was supposed to wake up absurdly early, and I wasn't able to wake up early to do this show. So it is what it is. It is honestly though. Tom, I think I woke up and I saw there were no messages from you, and so I was like, oh, maybe he's sleeping also. So I swear, I think I woke up at like 6, and I'm like, oh, he's sleeping as well. But it's whatever. Daily Cowbells. Chris, you're the only person that doesn't like the Daily Cowbell name. Literally everyone in the comments loves the Daily Cowbell name. Like, I cannot tell you how many people in the comments were like, wow, this is awesome show. Bro, some people in the comments, I'm not gonna lie, they like this show a little bit more than the other show. I kept getting that comment a lot. But people love it, man. People enjoy the chemistry. People like that I have a take that I'm able to like push back against Tom. Yesterday, bro. All right, you'll see it if you didn't see yesterday's episode, on the compilation episode today, we had a debate about China, about if you should buy BYD. And the point of buying that, the point of that debate was, it's a Chinese company, but it's a decent competitor to Tesla. And my argument for why you should buy it, again, because it was a debate, was that the Chinese government is so bad and so authoritarian that they will not let Tesla get unilateral control and a monopoly of electric cars in China because they don't want an American company having that much influence. Therefore, they will artificially make sure that BYD is successful in order to have competition against Tesla, because they don't even allow Google and Facebook into their company. So because they allow Tesla, they're going to do it with a lot of rules. And that's why it was good for Warren Buffett to buy 10% of them. And Tom, he was like, what the fuck? He was like, how do I answer this question? Because it was such an innovative argument, in my opinion, because I was like, China's bad, therefore they're good. And I did debate in high school. And one of the things about debate in high school was, how can you make your opponent get flabbergasted at the argument you made by making it logical? And so I conceded what Tom was going to spew out on, which is that China sucks. I was like, yeah, they suck. And that's actually good for BYD. So it was a fun little debate. Those are the type of debates you get. And that's the fun stuff that we talk about. Tom needs someone to debate him. You're a perfect candidate for it. Yeah, I agree. And we're not going to debate every topic because we don't want to artificially fake it. Because I think you guys can tell when it's fake or when it's not fake. But we do, when on the topics we can have a diverse angle on, we do want to do that, right? Like Roku, there's no debate. I mean, like we both agree Roku. I'm not going to get up here and say Roku's going to be like, no, like that. I'm just not going to, we're not doing that. But on some other topics, there is a debate to be had, and there's a good piece of analysis you can do. All right. I think that's it for today. Did you study sophistry? I don't even know what that word means. Hold on. Let me look at that right now. Sophistry. It means the use of fallacious argument. That's it. No, I didn't study sophistry, but I probably used some of them in my debate career. All right. That's it for today. It's Friday. I have one video coming out today reacting to the Palantir new video that came out. So watch out for that. After that, we have the SoFi Weekly, 9:30 p.m. on my channel. Then we have Palantir Weekly on Chris's channel today. So everyone check that out. And that's pretty much it for today. Thank you all for joining me this week, first week in November. I really appreciate everyone be here. It's awesome. Glitch Life, thanks for joining at the very end. Yeah, November 4th. I hope you guys had a good week. Hope you guys have a great Friday. Hope you guys have a good weekend. I've got a lot of work to get done this weekend, and excited to keep moving forward and continuing to work hard. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much. See you guys next time.